Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the NBA Bit. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Thursday. Play-in is almost set, right? We had 2 more games go down. We've got 2 left to go. Hope everybody's doing well, though. Tomorrow, throwing this out there now, since we don't have any basketball tonight, I think tomorrow we do like a little afternoon show, maybe a little PM energy, and then we'll sprinkle in like a version of Live Before Lock, do all the series previews, stuff like that. I think we do that tomorrow afternoon. So just keep that in mind. If we're not live at 9 a.m. tomorrow, that's why we should do a little afternoon, little happy hour. Haven't done a happy hour in a while. We got T-Man Baller in the chat. GM. Hope everybody is liking, subscribing, sharing with your friends and family. We have to start with Steph Curry. Man. I'll be honest, much like the Portland Phoenix game, I was white knuckling trying to get to the end of this game. I really was. It was kind of boring up top. There was a lot of missed shots early. And it didn't seem like we were going to get anything spicy. And then, good Lord, Steph Curry got going, huh? Steph Curry got going. Also, Draymond, I feel like I've done nothing but poke fun at Draymond for like 9 months. And Draymond Green was incredible. He was incredible. Let's pop around that box score. We also, Common Man's here. It says happy birthday to Wendell Carter Jr. Happy National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. Okay, Snoop. Jump shoot in the chat. Love to see it. We get some daytime baseball today, BT Dubs. All right, so the Warriors are moving on. They get this W 126-121. And actually, before we do anything else, there's 2 Twitter clips I want to see. And again, I never know what's going to monetize us. But this was incredible. And as Josh said in the chat, ready? Rob Perez, Worldwide Wob, shared this on X. This is just the last 3 minutes of the game. You're not seeing the full 3 minutes. It's a minute video of Draymond clamping up Kawhi.
Darius Garland coming off this pin action right here and getting downhill.
Clips are up 3 at this moment, too. They throw a double turnover. And we're not going to see it, but pretty sure Steph walks into a 3 there. Benedict Matherin's like, what am I doing on the court? I shouldn't be playing.
Matherin and Kawhi. Green there, Horford there. They put it. They put it. Go dance. Go feed.
Looking like Paolo the way he's passing off that. Draymond comes, gets the tip. E. Santos, well, what you doing, buddy?
From distance in the fourth quarter.
Hold on. What's this woman doing? Right here. What is she doing? What is she calling out what is she doing? Is she calling out the place? Wow. She just wanted to share love. We're just sharing love. What's going on? What is going on here? Women courtside. Tough night. We'll show the other one.
Matherin to inbound. Oh, look at the defense. Screen.
Oh, wow.
Steal. Paczynski. Oh, he can't cut it at the door. 19.
We got one more stop. Look at him. Picking up full court.
Leonard does not score to the fourth, and here he's got the ball and Green in front.
Cookies.
Green stole the ball.
Wow, I can't believe we're leading with Draymond. Incredible stuff from Draymond. And then more importantly, this is Chris Paul's Instagram story. I'm sure you've seen that dancing funeral meme. Just good stuff. Love the hate in everybody's hearts this morning for the Clippers. Can't believe we're starting with Draymond and then with Chris Paul's Instagram feed. We should be talking about Steph Curry too, Steph just got super hot in this game in the second half. I believe he had like 8 points at halftime, and the Clippers were just in control of this game too, and then got outscored by 11 in the fourth quarter, 13 in total in the second half to then win by 5. Steph, man, finishes the game 7 for 12 from 3, 12 for 23 from the field, 35-4. Paczynski was all right, 17-7. Porzingis, I felt like as this game, it felt like the game was slipping away a little bit for the Warriors. And it was Porzingis in the first half that was keeping the energy up as Steph went to the locker room, I think, for a little bit. Then he came back, but like Steph just couldn't get going. And Porzingis, 8 for 12 from the field, 3 for 6. He had 20 points, 5 boards, and 5 dimes. Mentioned Draymond. I mean, this is an elite Draymond stat line here. 4 steals, 9 assists, 6 boards, only took 5 shots, 7 points. You got 20 from Guy Santos. You got 14. Al giving him 4 triples off the bench in 22 minutes. Just a pretty fun win for a Golden State team. I guess, like, I just don't need to see the Clippers play basketball anymore. I think this game, this 9-10 game, whether the Warriors go on to beat the Phoenix Suns on Friday or not, I don't think it matters. I think OKC is going to have their way regardless of whoever they play in the first round. But if I have to watch 4 more games of one of the 3 teams that were left in the Warriors, the Clippers, and the Suns, give me 4 more games of Steph Curry, right? Regular said after the early Draymond foul, I thought he was going to have a rough night, but he killed it. No, he was awesome. I mean, I honestly did not think he still had that in his bag. I mean, maybe possession by possession, you could see it, but for him to sustain that type of like defensive efficiency there, especially in clutch time against somebody like Kawhi, who seemed like all season long has been able to get to whatever spot to get whatever shot that he wants, and was unable to do it. Kawhi finishes the game 8 for 17 from the field, 21, 7, and 3, had 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. We saw a couple of them coming in crunch time. It's also kind of nuts for Kawhi to only have taken 17 shots. Like, I feel like in this scenario, you expect him to go a little bit harder, to just be taking some more shots. But no, it's not happening. You see Derrick Jones Jr. finished with 13. There was a lot of time. I mean, like, listen, Chris Dunn had 7 points and 10 dimes. So, like, Chris Dunn had a good game. But they're like early on in that first quarter, man, where we were like swinging to Chris Dunn for wide open threes. Derrick Jones Jr., I swear to God, man, he either nothing but nets it from his corner threes, or it is campaign level ugly when it leaves his hand. Like, right away if it's buckets or not. And so he didn't really have it. Benedict Mathurin was fine for them off the bench. He actually had a better game than I thought. He had 5 for 6 from 3, 23 points. I thought John Collins was good. And not like, again, I think there are smarter people out there. Actually, yes, great point. Garland's foul trouble did hurt them. He had 5 early, it felt like. But smarter people will have answers to this. John Collins only playing 21 minutes felt kind of funky to me. And maybe I'm a John Collins apologist, but I thought he was playing pretty well. I mean, the box score says he was with 3 stocks, 11 and 9, right? But yeah, he did. Mathurin was not going up confidently when he was letting him go in the last 5 minutes either. But like, I don't understand why Collins can't get a little bit more run here. Maybe they just trust the defense of Brook Lopez and had to go a little smaller out there. Dude, it's tough. I don't know. But Brook Lopez playing 37 minutes is kind of crazy, right? That is kind of crazy. And not that he was bad, but that is kind of nuts. And now this puts the Clippers in a really tough spot moving forward. I bet mysteriously, Adam Silver and whatever law firm they're working with again will come out and come to some sort of decision on the Clippers now that the season is over. I don't know what it's going to look like. But now the real waiting game for LAC is the ping pong balls of the Indiana Pacers, right? Because if it finishes 5 through 9, picks 5 through 9, the Clippers have a first-round pick. Otherwise, you're going to see that Zubac trade turn into, if it's 1 through 4 for the Pacers, all of a sudden the Pacers got Zubac, then they get a top 4 pick, and then the Thunder will also have another lottery pick because they control the Clippers pick. So it's just kind of nuts, the situation the Clippers find themselves. And you look at like long-term pieces here for their roster right now. Jordan Miller has shown, I like Jordan Miller. Jordan Miller's game is fun. Jonik Conan Niederhauser shown some fun stuff with him too. Nice little young piece moving forward. But the rest of this roster, Bogdan Bogdanovic no longer playing basketball. Isaiah Jackson, I believe, was ruled into this game. Got a DNP. Benedict Mathurin, is he under contract for one more year, or is this it? I can't remember if he's got one more year or multiple. You have Brooke Lopez, who's close to my age. Derek Jones Jr., who, man, also one other note on Derek Jones Jr., that dude just can't. He had a really unlucky run this year. Multiple knee injuries, then the ankle turn last night. You have Chris Dunn, who, again, is like fine. And then like, I just don't know what the long-term future looks like. Regulators say they'll probably announce aspiration results on a dead day, but there are no dead days coming up. No, I mean, I kind of agree with Weisberg where it'll be like a Friday news dump or something like that. But I don't know what the Clippers, I don't know how they move forward. It was kind of weird. And I know like Steph Curry is an anomaly, and Golden State being close, like relatively close to Los Angeles, them being kind of like the Yankees in their fandom. Like they travel well is what I'm saying. But for them to, for them to be like drowning out the wall there in Los Angeles, tough scene for old Ballmer. But yeah, I mean, Golden State will move on. They'll play Phoenix on Friday. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think it matters. I think if I had to, I kind of think Phoenix would win this game. Like, everything had to go right for Golden State. They needed Steph Curry to get super hot in the second half after being ice cold in the first half. That could definitely happen again. But asking Draymond to do that level of defense, and maybe he doesn't have to do that level because they don't have a Kawhi-type player. It's just two guards. So maybe it puts more emphasis on like Podziemski and guys like that. But that kind of felt like their Super Bowl last night. And to turn around and have to play again on Friday, I think I would take Phoenix. in that game. So that would be my lean. But it was like a fun listen. It was kind of nice little hat tip. We get to see Steph Curry go nuts. We saw vintage Draymond. I don't know if we'll ever see them do that again in meaningful basketball, depending on what the Golden State offseason looks like. We can wait to RIP pour water on the Warriors until after Friday, but we'll see. So is Kerr's last game on Friday? Probably. Yeah, Al did have I was shouting him out earlier. 4 for 7 3 was pretty solid. But yeah, we'll talk more about the Warriors on Monday, actually, after the Friday games, unless we might do a special NBA bid on Saturday. Actually, we might do a little, I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. I'm honestly more interested in talking about the 7-8 game on the East side of things. Does anybody else have any thoughts on Golden State Clippers before we move on? There was just, the game just felt vibeless, and then you had Steph go nuts, and then that was exciting. And the Draymond defense was exciting too, but I don't know. I don't know what happens. All right, Borland, chill. Borland, you're back on Monday for baseball, which, by the way, we will have a baseball show tomorrow at 1:00, and our guy Slimfish is going to be joining, which is fun. So that's good. All right, hold on. We need another coffee sip. All right, let's go to the Eastern Conference. Because I thought that maybe because I was more awake when I was watching this game. But I know this should not be the takeaway, but I know I'm a Celtics fan. I can't help myself. I mean, no one thought either of these teams were serious, right? Like, this was bad basketball. I think we had so much fun the night before, which part of that Charlotte game was bad basketball too, that Charlotte-Miami game. But at least it was like exciting and fun. This was rough. This was a tough hang. This was watching like two drunk guys fight. Like, nobody was landing any shots, but everybody was kind of concerned the whole time. Everybody was really nervous. Like, somebody was going to get hurt, but then nobody was doing anything that could get you hurt. It was just gross. So Philly gets this win 97, excuse me. Also, by the way, quickly, we told you on Tuesday night, moneyline parlay. Of the Trailblazers and the Hornets. And last night, what did we say? Although I think we threw the line all over the place. I told you an alt line yesterday. And I think I said all three of 10.5, 11.5, and 12.5. 10.5 and 11.5 hit, baby. We count on Orlando just absolutely melting down. But man, this was just a tough hang. And Paolo, I thought, was like a little aggressive early, which I like to see. But did he see a ghost halfway through the second quarter? Because I don't know what Mosley said to him. Also, speaking of Mosley, hey. Maybe all these coaches are doing this and I just don't know it, but I only know one other coach that has sniffed smelling salts before the start of a game, and it was Doug fucking Christie. Is that the role model you want before a postseason game? Also, why do you need to smell? Why smelling salts for a coach? You're wearing like a 3/4 zip and you're just yelling wide motion. I heard him yell wide motion like 45 times yesterday while no players interact with them through the entire game. The Orlando team was just such a mess, man. It really was. And it was like you would see somebody go get a tough and one. Nobody's high-fiving anybody. Like there was just zero vibes. A bunch of double techs that happened in this game. I think there was like 4 technical fouls that were called both in double T form. But like nothing, at no point was I like, oh, this Orlando team is gelling. Like, if you just looked at Desmond Bane's stat line, 10 for 16 from the field, 10 for 11 from the free throw line, 4 for 6 from 3, 34 points. Surely Orlando cooked, right? And it just look at this third quarter. 39 total points in the third quarter. Like, and I don't think anybody walked away from this game being like, Philly looked good, baby. Philly looked good. I mean, yeah, sure. We all laughed as Andre Drummond started knocking down triples. Also, shout out Matty Harrison, who tweeted out a stat last night. Stat Muse Harrison, the $100,000 man. He said, I found my favorite stat from the NBA this season. Andre Drummond shot 35% from 3 on 90 attempts this season. In the 2015-2016 season, Drummond shot 35% on free throws. The evolution of Drum Dog Millionaire. Just awesome. Awesome stuff. Regulator was saying Notre Dame Chris Quinn will surely get a job this offseason. So we're talking about him potentially going to Orlando. Is that what we're saying in the chat? But yeah, this was just a tough hang, man. Like everybody was rough in this game. And it was not fun to watch. And like, let's look at Philly, because I was giving Orlando some shit. Philly, like, VJ Edgecombe's a dog. I think let's do some positive stuff. VJ Edgecombe is awesome. I love him. He had a tough mid-range jumper off a nice dribble move. He had some tough finishes at the rim, rebounding his ass off, led the team he picked up more rebounds than Drummond. 19 and 11, 4 for 5 from the line, 7 for 16 from the field. Maxey was kind of frustrating in this game for me personally. Finishes with 31 and 6, but I don't know if you guys felt this watching it, but every time Maxey went to the rim, he got to the rim. And I felt like he did a lot of dancing for large stretches in this game where I was just like, come on, man, just get downhill. Like, I know Suggs is a solid on-ball defender, but if nobody can stay in front of you, man. They're either going to have to send help, which Orlando does not like to do, so you're going to have a shot at the rim, or just you'll find somebody open. I mean, they kept, like, early on, Kelly Oubre was just wide open for 3 time and time again. He ended up knocking down 5 threes. Oubre finished with 19 and 3. Paul George looked good in the first half. Then he kind of did some PG stuff. He slowed down. He finished with 16, 5 and 5. But yeah, like, I guess to start looking at the next round where Celtics will be taking on the 76ers. I mean, if Joe, like, maybe people disagree and my Homer hat's on too tight. This is, if Embiid is not back, this is Celtics in 4 or 5, right? And then maybe Embiid comes back for game 4. It sounds like that might be the earliest he's back. Although Underdog's real Skip Bayless yesterday was reporting that Embiid is like choosing not to play, even though he's medically cleared to go. Skip, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Eat a sandwich, bro. What are we talking about? Like, we all know the procedure he went through. Everybody's timeline was somewhere between like 3 and 6 weeks or whatever it was. And Skip Bayless is out here reporting on Underdog show that he's choosing not to go. What are we doing? But anyways, if Embiid is not ready to go for like game 4, this just kind of feels like the Celtics will we'll send him home. Maxey is still hurt. You know that, or you're just saying he's back from injury and that's why he's hurt? I'm not saying I don't mean like I'm not a Maxey fan. I think Maxey clearly was their best player last night. I just think he was still going to the rack. So it's not like he's too hurt to go to the rack. But he was getting by everybody every time. Jump shoot. When you say, do you side with Diana Rossini? What is that? What do you mean? Do you just want me to talk about that? Is that what you mean? DJP, Alexander Albon, the F1 driver, got back into the car 1 week after an appendix. Do you think? Yeah, but they had a different. I actually think it was a different level of surgery, though. Was my understanding. I don't know what Albon's situation was, but Embiid's was of the more serious kind, I thought. Anyways, I don't think if Philly doesn't have Embiid. If also DJP, are you siding with Skip Bayless here? Is that what we're saying, DJP? I don't have a take. If that's what happened, she should not be doing that job. But I also think there's no way similar shit's not happening with like Shams and Woj and that whole weird and that whole cabal. So it's like, I don't know, bring the same energy to everybody. But I'm sure it happens all the time. You got caught. You now have to pay the price. It's weird. Vrabel hasn't had to speak about it once. Who is also a willing party in this. So there you go. Yeah, they are. And they're also little bitches. You know what I'm saying? I mean that non-derogatorily. I'm also a little bitch. I'm like Alex Albon size. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Milo said he drove the neck. Okay, actually, guys, do me a favor. Everybody share your appendix take in the chat. Milo drove the next week after his appendix was removed. Add you to the list. So we got Milo, Alex Albon. Those two guys that would play for the 76ers, not Joel Embiid. Anyways, I think this is Celtics in 4 or 5. If Embiid is all of a sudden cleared for game 2, I could see it going maybe 6 games. The Celtics are too talented. And I think, again, this is going to highlight how bad Paolo and Franz are. And I think last year, during this season, during this postseason, the Celtics played Orlando. And I think at some point, I said Paolo and Franz feels like the poor man's version of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And it is now homeless. Like it is a homeless, without home, not homed. I forget what the proper way to say it is, but you know what I'm saying? This is toast. And last night I was watching how Philly was defending both Paolo and Franz, which good news is they didn't really need to defend him because Paolo would get a wide open 3 in the corner and he would either front rim it or he would then throw a grenade to somebody else and pass up the open shot, or Franz Wagner would brick wide open. It was tough, man. Tough hang for both of those guys. But watching how Philly defended them, right? You have Paul George who's going to grab a wing. I was actually really impressed with VJ, who kept getting switched on to Paolo and kind of held his own. Paolo big boyed him a couple of times, but for the most part, VJ held his own. And then it's like Kelly Oubre. So who's going to defend Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on this team? You know, I just think it's going to be too much. And if Embiid is not good to go, I think Nehemias Queta and like what, even if maybe they go small too, like I just think it's going to be too much. And the way Boston rebounds, I just think this is a really, really bad hang. And I think the Celtics are going to be able to. I just think this is like a matchup nightmare. Now, Maxey is going to have to deal with Derek White. I think Derek White is obviously an elite guard defender, but I think Maxey's speed might be a neutralizer. So Maxey could absolutely have a big series. VJ could have a nice series, but I do think like the mismatch of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, it's just going to be far too great. Again, watching them like shut down Paolo and Franz, where like Paolo and Franz kind of shut themselves off, you know? And again, now, like we talked about this yesterday, but the report, the sources say that the Stars want Paolo gone. I mean, they want Jamal Mosley gone. I mean, yeah, he has to. I mean, even if you don't want to blame Mosley at this point, he's got to go. He's got to go. But I don't know what Orlando does from here. Is anybody in their right mind picking Orlando on Friday? I don't see it. Charlotte is 3-0 against the Magic this year. All of those games happening after Christmas too. So all on the more recent side, I feel like Charlotte kind of wipes the floor. I feel like it's over. Maddie's saying Tibbs to Orlando. You think these guys can stay healthy now? Wait till they're playing 39 minutes a game. Light it up. But yeah, I mean, You know who's rooting for this right now? Okay, Stan. Look at Stan. Stan, 10 toes down. 10 toes down. Dog shit take. All right. Stan, actually, let me ask you this. Do you have to, as a Miami fan, do you go like regional? Or are you now just like a states guy, states rights? So are you rooting for the state of Florida? Is that what's happening? Memphis gets a rare W here, though, right? I think they have their first round pick this year, right? I think that's right. So they're watching them slip right into the lottery. We got morning squad. Frank's in the house. Says Maxey could average 34 against Boston. Key is shutting down everybody else. And yeah, I'm with you 100. VJ is awesome. Yeah. Again, I just think the mismatch is going to be too great. Is going to be too great for JB and JT that Boston should have their way. But it is the Celtics, man. It is the Celtics, and they're really good at making things closer than they need to be, especially in the postseason. So who knows? Who knows? But sets up for a fun first round matchup. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Charlotte. Banchero triple double. Yeah, I mean, sure. Are you counting turnovers? 3DK. The Paolo's toast, man. Yeah, DJP. This is great. This is actually. I know I was yelling at you yesterday. This is a good take. Only thing that can F the Celtics is everyone on the 76ers is hitting everything. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. They're going to have to shoot out of their ass. But for Friday, let's see. Do they have lines up? I'm going to try to guess some lines right now. I'm going to say Charlotte is going to be on the road, but they're going to be favored by 3.5. 3.5. All right. Stan, you taking moral victories? Moral victories, Stan? Are you expecting something similar? Okay. Also, remember I said Clippers, I said that line 5.5 was too funky. We were right. Okay, anyways, we're going to say Hornets 2.5 or 3.5. Let's say 3.5. I think the public's pretty mad at Orlando right now. 3.5. And then on the Phoenix side, we're going to say Phoenix is going to be 2.5 because people are betting on people are going to be betting on Golden State. All right, let's check. Let's see if we have anything. And then I know I'm behind. I like the chat's active today. I like it. All right, let's see. Hornets 3.5. Come on. We don't have a line on the Warriors in Phoenix. Come on, guys. Build different over here. All right, Jake in the chat. People were saying Miami is the only team to keep among the playoffs with all G League players, and he should be coach of the year. People were saying Miami is the only team to keep among the. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean to keep among the playoff? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Sorry, my bad. I'm having a tough time reading. Yeah, Con needs a good game. Have people turned in their votes yet? Or are they still waiting? Also, I thought it was kind of nuts. JJ Redick came out. I don't know if you guys saw this. JJ came out and said, keep making the playoffs. I got you. JJ Redick came out and was like, I won't have an update for you this week on Luka and Reeves. Can I ask something? Why not? Why not? How are we not? I feel like now's the time, man. Now's the time. You guys get to have practice. You're with the trainers. Why can't we get an update? Anyways, I don't know. But yeah. So tomorrow, I think I am taking Charlotte. I think I am taking Charlotte and Phoenix, and then that would give us Detroit and Charlotte. Let's look at the bracket again. Let's look at the bracket, and then let's make our official picks. Because I don't really know what's going to go on tomorrow. Playoff bracket. Let's go. All right. So I'm not going to mess around. Whether they play the Suns or the Warriors, it's Thunder and 4, right? It's Thunder and 4. I'm not going to give any life to like Devin Booker is going to get hit with a crowbar by Lou Dort. Actually, you know what? We say Lou Dort. When you say Lou Dort 3 times, Lou Dort. All right, these are the official picks. Thunder and 4. All right, I'm going to make 2 picks for Lakers and Rockets, okay? I'm going to make 2. Wait, LaMelo Ball and Isaiah Stewart were tweeting at each other? I didn't see that. That's back-to-back day. Who was telling? I think Sanjay Rich was telling us yesterday that Bones Highland was in the Real app posting some messages. Players are getting active, man. Okay, so I'm going to make two takes on this. One is with if Luka does not play at all, no Luka, no Reeves. Let's just assume no Luka and no Reeves for the entire first round. I'm going to say Rockets in 6. I think old man LeBron can win one game, and the Rockets will lose one game. Like the Lakers will win one, and then Houston will do some weird shit and lose one. All right? I did, Mike. I did. So I'm going to say Rockets in 6. If Luka or Reeves comes back before game 4, I think I would pick Lakers in 7. Yeah, I'll do the LaMelo thing when we get to the Eastern Conference. So I'm going to say either Rockets in 6 with no Luka and no Reeves, Lakers in 7 if they're back. All right. Nuggets and Timberwolves. I think I'm taking crazy pills, man. Because I just don't see Minnesota getting this done. Unless they were really hoodwinking us and Anthony Edwards is crazy healthy. But he has not looked healthy. It sounds like he needs a lot of time for that knee to like truly heal. Naz Reid's shoulder looks like it's in his throat. Ayo Dosunmu has a calf strain. Well, he's back now, but he's not like, that's a lingering thing. And I know, like, listen, Denver doesn't have Peyton Watson. I do think that's a bigger deal, but I think that's going to be a bigger deal for rounds 2 and 3 than it is round 1. Aaron Gordon's the healthiest he's been in like 2 seasons. Denver in 5. I'm going to say Denver in 5. And maybe that's my Nuggets bias. I was so ready to take Minnesota to like upset some teams when it was February. I was banging the Minnesota drum for a while. I thought the Ayo trade was elite. I thought not only did it help them, but it hurt Houston. I really liked them to make a run. And the vibes have been off. I think there's some Finch question marks. Like, I think if it is Denver, I think if Minnesota gets out of the first round, Finchy might be elsewhere next year. And I think Finch is a good coach. I do like Chris Finch, but I think this has been a tough season for him. I'm going to say Denver in 5. San Antonio, Portland. Spurs should be pretty healthy now, right? They should be good to go. We're about to get like 34 minutes of Wemby a night now instead of the 29. I think this is also going to be San Antonio in 5. I think Portland will steal a game. Right now we have Thunder in 4, most likely Rockets in 6, Denver in 5, San Antonio in 5. So not a lot of long series there. I do think Portland steals one game. I think Denny will have a game like we had the other night. I think he's going to be putting his shoulder into people. Kling Kong's going to do some stuff. Maybe Wemby foul trouble. Who knows? And maybe that's just wish casting to get my Portland stacks through. But I'm gonna go give him. Power Dusty said, let's not give Finch a pass. That team is twice as talented as what Mosley has in Orlando. Well, I just said I think he's gonna get fired. And wait, also, hold on, Power Duster. That team has gone to the conference finals the last 2 years. What are we talking? I'm confused. All right. But I also did say this is going to be his last year with the Wolves. All right, let's do the Eastern Conference. So, yeah, LaMelo. The chat must be down so bad. Remember yesterday? LaMelo needs to be suspended. We got to suspend LaMelo. It's not fair what he did. Suspend LaMelo. LaMelo was fine. I also like that they find him like 2 different ways. They were like, okay, he's gonna, what was it? They was like, we're gonna find him for this, but then we're also gonna find him for this. So if you add this plus this, that equals how much he's getting fined. So wait, who was the one that reported it? Was it Shamalamba Ding Dong? Is he the one that reported it? I want to see the actual numbers. All right, here we go. The NBA is fining LaMelo $35K for his trip of Miami's BAM and upgrading the action to a flagrant, plus fining him $25. That's $60K. There we go. All right. San Francisco, are you putting in San Francisco 49er? I feel like you did this the last week too. Are you putting in Are you putting in bets for Friday? So you think Steph's going to hit 7+ threes on Friday, and then Paolo's going to get 8.5 boards, or are you putting in bets from yesterday? On the Nick Nurse staff. Got you. Yeah, I have tons of Charlotte stacks in best ball. I do. Yeah. But he wasn't getting suspended, guys. Grow up. That I do like that he gets suspended for swearing. Also, I don't think we should. I mean, I like that he got fined for swearing. I think you should be able to swear, by the way. Why are we fining people for swearing? I thought this was a free country. What happened to freedom of speech, huh? What happened to freedom of speech? Hey, real quick, not to get political. I think it's weird that we have guys cutting off raccoon dicks. I think that's tough. We put people in jail for less. That's all I'm saying. We can't be cutting off wieners. You know what I'm saying? You can't be cutting off raccoon dicks. I don't know. That's where I draw the line. Yeah. That's what weird people say. We can't just use education as a loophole to be weird, man. What did you miss? You missed
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Let's get out of the car.
And he cut off raccoon dick. Also, the RFK Jr. sounds so weird that I can't even do an impression of it. Like Bernie Sanders, we can get there, and it feels like it should be in the same vicinity as Bernie. It can't. Honestly, yeah, that is the most normal thing he's ever done. I got to tell you, I have never thought in my entire life about roadkill cock. And that was his first thought. Have you ever seen an animal on the side of the road, from deer to possum to squirrel, and been like, we got to see this guy's dick? Like, oh, I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's what makes him different, man. And I'm a Kennedy apologist. I got Kennedy books around here. JFK, RFK, not the junior, the senior. Just wild times. All right. I don't know how we got there. Roadkill Cock would be a great 80s punk band. Roadkill Cock sounds like one of Andy's band names for Parks and Rec. Man, how did we get here? You want to go back to Pistons, Charlotte? So I'm gonna take Charlotte over I'm gonna take Charlotte over Orlando. Man, Bobby got me thrown. I'm gonna take Charlotte over Orlando, and then I'm gonna say Detroit in 6. I do think Detroit in 5. Let's put some more respect on the Pistons, okay? I could see a Steve Buscemi character in the yeah, that great call. No mental health. Mental health is gone in this country. Wow, nice. There you go, Weisberg. I think I'm gonna say I think Charlotte could steal a game. My bags want me to say 2 games. I think it's just 1 game though. I think they stay. Well, okay, people are calling for a mental health check. If we get 2 calls for it, let's do this one. Let's do a weird one. Although I don't know if I still have the weird ones. I think I do. Oh no, it's right there. Actually, quick tangent here before we get into the rest of the Eastern Conference. I took my wife to go see this new Broadway show, Proof. We're talking about mental health. There's some mental health in it. Proof. It's with Io Adebri from The Bear. Yes, chef. And it's with Don Cheadle from Avengers. Awesome. It was awesome. Also, I know this is true. I'm someone that has gone to shows I've lived in New York for a decade, 11 years now. In my mind, anytime I go to a Broadway show, I assume somebody's going to come out and start to sing about the sunshine. And I forget that not every play is a musical. This one was not a musical. But man, if you were in New York or if this show starts traveling, it was so good. It was a little heavy. But Io Debris, a superstar, is just a superstar. It's going to be so good. like is going to win so many awards. And like I knew her as a funny person, as a comedian. It was just excellent. It was so good. Donovan McNabb, Don Cheadle, or the real Don Cheadle? The real Don Cheadle. The real Don Cheadle. Anyways, it was excellent. It was a really good time. Proof has been around since the 2000. Oh, is it? I assumed it was a new play. This is a new version of it. It just opened. It just opened. All right. Anyways, let's keep going. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to say Pistons in 5, but my heart says 6. Okay. Cavs and Raptors. Okay. I was trying to talk myself into this was a pretty good matchup for Toronto. I was trying to talk myself into it. The Emmanuel Quickly thing sucks. It sounds like I don't know, maybe Power Duster, you have a boots on the ground take. It sounds like IQ is going to miss a game. Or if he's not, he's going to be severely limited. Like that was a newish injury that popped up. And he was already dealing with plantar fasciitis. I think Mobley and Allen are going to beat them up a little bit down low. Allen, I bet we see him get closer to 30 minutes again finally after managing him down the stretch. And I just don't think this is it. I think if it was Atlanta, Cleveland, we could have some real talk here. But I kind of think this is just Cavs in 5. And maybe James Harden rears his ugly head at least once. And so this pops back. But I don't know. Do you guys have any other takes? Yeah. Okay. There we go. 2001 Pulitzer Prize drama. Yeah, it was Catherine. I didn't know that. Thank you. There you go, regulator. Anyways, it was excellent. It was good. It was so good. Is anybody taking Toronto here? And you guys know me, number one Cleveland hater. I don't want to give Donovan Mitchell credit or James Harden in the postseason, but I think this is Cleveland in 5. The case for Toronto is Scotty has to be the best player in the series. Scotty is going to have to be point guard. He's going to have to be center. He's going to have to be everything. He's going to have to be everything. And I don't know if he can do that 4 out of 7 times. So I'm going to say Cleveland there. Bing Bong Boys and the Atlanta Hawks. I do not know what to do with this series. And I do think my Boston love is what comes into this and makes me want to say Atlanta. I think this is going to be a long series. I think this is going to be the most fun to watch. I think we are going to see some high scoring output. I think the X factor, if you will, is going to be CJ McCollum. I think this can be a very good matchup for CJ. OG Anunoby's defense has really ticked up here in the last month of the regular season. He's going to have to deal with Jalen Johnson. He's going to have to slow him down. I imagine Mikal Bridges gets thrown on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And I think this sets up for a Karl Anthony Towns series. And I love Onyeka Okongwu. I think he's a good defender, but I think with Brunson having to deal with the likes of Dyson Daniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I think this sets up nicely for Karl Anthony Towns, who Onyeka will be a little undersized. I think Onyeka is in good shape, to follow him out when Cat tries to stretch the floor. But I think when Cat and Mitchell Robinson are both out there together, that could be problematic. But the Knicks can get let up from 3. And we know CJ can shoot the blood out of the ball. We know Nickeil Alexander-Walker can do that as well. And so I think Atlanta is if they're able to impose their will with the speed and pace of play, and they can shoot the ball well from 3, I think they extend this series quite a bit. And I'm going to just officially pick Knicks in 7. But I wouldn't Knicks in 6, Knicks in 7, I think is fine. I think that's where I would go. All right, Power Duster getting us caught up here in Toronto said the hamstring injury is new for IQ and that Brandon Ingram's going to have to drop 30 a game. Yeah, Brunson probably gets put on Dyson, I would think, right? Because I think, again, Mikal will get OG will get what's his name? Get Jalen Johnson. Although, who am I forgetting of their 5? JJ, Dyson, Onyeka. Who am I forgetting? Is CJ going to start? No. Well, because Risa Shea went to the bench. Who have they been starting lately? Is it CJ? I said Jalen. But yeah, I would imagine they kind of put Brunson on Dyson would be my guess. But Dyson, to his credit, I know, Regulator already did it. I know we make fun of Dyson Daniels a lot. I do think Dyson is strong enough as like a driver that he could put Brunson in some tough spots if he attacks the rim. But again, they got Mitchell Robinson down there. But that actually makes things pretty interesting. If CJ is going to start and you have Mitch and Cat out there, that means you're putting Mitchell Robinson on CJ. I guess maybe you put Brunson on CJ and Mitch Rob on Dyson. That might work a little bit better because Mitchell Robinson, to his credit, he's a great defender. And not just around the rim. Like he can widen out. No, Kuminga's not starting. Kuminga's probably only going to play like 18 minutes, 20 minutes a game. Kuminga, I think this is a pretty bad series for JK. I don't think we're going to see. I think if Quinn Snyder is coaching well, we're not going to see a lot of Kuminga. Would be my guess. I don't think this is a great matchup for him. You need shooters. You need absolute shooters. And that's how I think I actually, there's a chance like Corey Kispert plays more than Kuminga if Quinn Snyder is coaching well. I don't think he's going to play. I think we'll see a pretty tight rotation from Atlanta. But again, I think they can extend the series, but I think it would be, I know it's the sexy hipster pick to be like Atlanta in 6. I'm not going to do that. I think the Knicks are going to win. I think it's going to be a pretty chalky first round. And then Celtics 76ers, that one's locked in. And this comes down to Embiid, and even with Embiid, I think if I knew Embiid was playing, I'd say Celtics in 5. Without Embiid, I think it's Celtics in 4. I think this is, I like, there's a part of my brain that's like, I've seen Boston screw this up too much, and play out like that. They let teams hang around. They give away a couple of games. I just think this Boston team is a little too talented. And I don't think Philly is talented enough, especially if Embiid is not there. And even if Embiid is there, even if he is there, I think I'm gonna lean Boston in 4 or 5. So I don't know, anything that you guys think is wrong. I know there was a couple of people who were taking, I think somebody said they'd like Minnesota in the chat. Does Atlanta lose any edge from the Trey Knicks grudge? No, you know what they lose? They gain better defense. Somebody was asking, does Trey show up to one of these games at Madison Square Garden? And I was like, I don't know why you would do that. DJ P said, I know you covered it, but why is everyone hyping up the Wolves? Don't really get it. They have all battling. Wow, that's a tough typo. They all have nagging injuries, and they've been 500 for a while. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I don't understand it either. I think it's like postseason recency bias where we've seen Minnesota give Denver fits the last couple of years and really push them to the brink. We've seen Anthony Edwards. Well, actually, this Timberwolves team in general just seems to play up to their level of competition, but they also play down to their level of competition. But I think this is different this year. And I think people are relying on that narrative of what we saw a year ago, of what we've seen a year ago, and instead of what we've seen in the last 3 months. And I think, all right, there we go. Congrats to everybody in the chat. My bad if I did not know what that word was. But I think, I think we're relying on what we saw a year ago and not what we've seen for the last couple of months. And DJP said, I mean, they do have a squad to beat. They can play small, but don't see it with these Nuggets. Yeah, I just, and Naz Reid not being as healthy. I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker not being there anymore is not, I think that rears its head a little bit. I'm assuming, does Jaden get the Jamal Murray? I just think to have to figure out how to deal with Jokic, Aaron Gordon, and Jamal Murray is going to be tough for this defense. And one of the things that we've seen this year compared to last year's, Chris Finch has in the past played Jokic one-on-one, and he's like one of the few teams that do that. They don't send help. However, this year, Minnesota has switched things up and have started sending help. So I'll be curious to see how they defend it. But I think if Minnesota is to make this a series and take this down, they need him to be 100%. I actually think I think Gordon is fully healthy at this point. I think they've gone out of their way. They've gone out of their way to monitor his minutes, much like Jared Allen, where I think he's actually in really, really good shape right now. And they've just kind of mollycoddled his minutes here down the stretch so that he will be good to go. I do think the absence of Peyton Watson is a thing, but I don't think Minnesota has the guns for it this time. I just don't think they're healthy. I think if they were completely healthy, I would say Denver in 7. But I don't know. And hey, maybe Ant-Man comes out and proves me wrong right away. Like if Ant comes out, drops 35, looks spry, bouncing all over the place, then I will absolutely reassess, take the L, whatever. But we haven't seen that from him for a while. And every time they've brought him out there, it's been for 26 weird minutes. And same thing with Naz Reid. Like that really thins out their bench. That's what made Minnesota so fun last year is it was just so clear what everybody's role was. This year it just seems a little funkier. It seems a little funkier. And I don't know. And I mean, Io, if Io's 100%, Ant's 100%, Naz 100%, I'd say Denver in 7. I just think, to regulators' point too, Nuggets are playing really well. I will say their schedule is pretty soft outside of that big Spurs win. But Minnesota's bench is fun in a regular season way. Io coming off a calf strain is not good. Naz Reid with the shoulder injury is not good. And so now you have those. That's your 7-man rotation is your starting 5 plus those 2 guys. Now we're like Mike Conley. What do you got? Terrence Shannon Jr. is so fun. Not like Bones Highland. That's what we're doing. I don't think so. But anyways, those are my picks, baby. Those are my picks. I think I am going to say it's going to be, I think my sexy finals take is it's going to be Celtics and Spurs. Yeah, he's not going to play. Right. It's regular season fun. He's not going to play. He needs so many guys to be out for him to get into the game. But I think Celtics Spurs is going to be my finals take. I think that's what I'm going to do just to be fun. Celtics Spurs. Slow-mo disrespect. You're right. We need to get Kyle Anderson out there. That's the hot take. I think the Celtics and Spurs. I don't know if that's considered hot. Celtics aren't hot, but I think Spurs is a hot take. I think people are prioritizing OKC or Denver. And I think I kind of like San Antonio. I like San Antonio. All right, dudes, we're going to call it there. We're back tomorrow. Again, tomorrow it's not going to be in the morning. I think we're going to do an afternoon show. We're going to do a happy hour show. Stay tuned. I'll tweet it out, put it in the Discord, all that stuff. Also, 40 and over hoops is back. 40 and over in hoops is back. First game tonight. I also forgot to plug our Splash Sports contest, by the way. We have a Splash Sports contest just for it's not just for us, but it's for the gang here. We have the NBA Bits 10K playoff tiers. We can't draft yet, but again, $25 to enter. Look at this, guaranteed $10,000 playoff pool. I love that it's very flat payout. If you finish top 50 out of 445, you get your money back. But all the way up top, 1,500. No, you double your money. Excuse me, 1,500, 1,250, 1,000. Top 3, all at 1K. And we're at 116 entrants right now. But whether or not this thing fills, it doesn't matter. Everybody's there. I don't know, kind of not of a hot take, top 5 teams matching up. Yeah, I think the first round is going to be pretty chalky. I think there's pretty big gaps between the 4 and 7 teams, So I think that you could, if you wanted to be spicy, Charlotte takes Detroit to 7. That's a fun one. I think they do have some upside. Charlotte going to 7 is fun. But what's a hot take? Saying Atlanta beats the Knicks? That's a 4-5 matchup. That's not a hot take either. So I don't know. What would a hot take be? Charlotte taking Detroit to 7. But I don't see a world in which I don't think Toronto's going to beat Cleveland. I don't think Minnesota's going to beat Denver. I don't think the 7 seed is going to, I don't know. I think it's hard to have hot takes right now for as much parity as there is in the league, I think the favorites are clearly better than everybody else. I think if something weird's going to happen, it's going to happen in the Eastern Conference. I think they're closer there, but not in the West, man. We're fine in the West, as Ja Morant said. Lakers. So yeah, I mean, that's not even spite. Oh, Lakers pushing OKC to 7. Yeah, even that though. That's a hot take, but it's a bad take. I just don't see that happening unless everybody's healthy, but I don't think they are. All right. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Come hang out. Enjoy the day. Go watch the baseball. I don't know. No hoops tonight, boys and girls. Thanks for hanging out. Go stay away from roadkill cock.